Hari Bol Prabhuji, and please accept my humble obeisance. And the more time he passes, and then people become like some devotee was mentioning, now people have, first they used to say Vancha Kalpataru, then they say Vancha, and now they say we. Understand, we, Vancha. So everything is becoming like, people are becoming shortcut, which is very dangerous for a devotee, sadhaka. As time passes, our intensity in our bhakti and the amount of time we spend in our spiritual practices, it should increase. But the tendency is, this is how Kali Yuga infiltrates. He will try to make us believe, oh, now we have spent so much time. So now we are at that level where we can chant while we are doing other things, and vice versa, or we can be complacent, or it is not complacency, I'm just doing my, it makes us believe like everything is smooth, and that becomes a dangerous situation, because with the passage of time things should become more intense. That is a devotee. Instead of chanting 16, okay, we try and chant more, we study more, we do more seva, we increase the intensity, the quality, the quantity of our devotional service. Bharat Maharaj is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. He was on the level of bhava. He went to a forest only to do bhajan. But then from that position also, he had a fall. So there are distractions. But that story is also told to showcase how he fell into danger because of lack of association of devotees. If you stay in the association of devotees, then these things can be pointed out. Okay, you are getting complacent, chant properly, you are not doing this, have been missing. But overall, we remember that the path of bhakti is the simplest, the path of devotional service to the Lord. That once we begin this journey, sooner or later, we will achieve the destination. Now, how soon we achieve that totally depends on the effort, the desire we have. Desire is the key. We are simply the products of our own desires. And Krishna empowers us according to our desires. He creates favorable or unfavorable circumstances around us according to our desire. If somebody wants to remember him, somebody wants to get close to him, he will create such situations in that person's life around him. And if somebody wants to forget him, stay away from him, he will create such circumstances in that person's life. And then at a point he will be born in a place, God-forsaken place, where he'll have no access to God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So everything is based on the desires we have. And the desires are nourished. A particular desire is nourished based on the association we are keeping. If we associate with those devotees who are very intense, who have a desire to advance, we also will develop a similar desire. And if we associate with people complacent, non-devotees, then we become like them. Therefore, there is so much emphasis given on the kind of sangha or the association we keep. Regularly coming together, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, the name, qualities, pastimes. Slow and steady. Steadiness is the key. Even if we are doing little, but we keep doing it, and then every day without fail. Because unless we are serious, why should Krishna take our prayer seriously? Why should he take us serious if we are not serious in his seva, in his devotional service? So yes, the path of bhakti is very simple, and it is extremely rewarding. Even if we do little, even if we are doing it unknowingly, the rewards are still there. But Krishna just has to see that we are doing the best according to our capacity. There was one devotee in our Mumbai temple, and when I joined in 2009, he was an old man, and my first seva in the temple was sitting at the exit entrance and of the temple hall. Whoever comes, give them information about the temple, give them prasad. So there was this old man who used to come, and he couldn't even walk properly. His Sometimes his son, sometimes his house help would hold him. Sometimes his daughter-in-law, wife, and he would come. He would sit next to my chair, and he has been coming even before I joined. He used to come and sit. He had a mala around his neck. He would take that out. He would just keep chanting. Not like we chant on every bead. He would like, he wasn't aware kya chal raha hai, kya nahi. He didn't know. Old man, he couldn't remember things. But anyways, so I used to think, what is he chanting like this? 3-4 beads at a time. He would do his own thing. And then he would get 2 mangoes. Always whenever he would come, he would get 2 mangoes. One for Gopinath, our deity, and one for a devotee. His name is Sankirtan Prabhu, very senior devotee. He liked him, so he used to get a mango for him. And then this went on, and he would come. We would, of course, made sure that he was comfortable. Then he would leave. And you don't pay much attention to such people, right? They come and go. You're just being kind to them. Okay, they need help. But that was his regular visits. Not regular, once in a while he would come. One fruit, and not exactly mango all the time, because mango season changes. So, he used to get a fruit. One for the deity, one for the devotee. That particular devotee, and one for our Gopinath. Anyways, so along with this guest reception seva, I also had the seva of flowers for the deities, flower garlands and everything. I used to arrange flowers, oversee that entire department, the garland making and getting the flowers. So it was the day of Narasimha Chaturdashi in our temple. And that day in our temple they do Abhishek, and the festival is celebrated in the evenings. At dusk there is Abhishek. All the devotees also come to the temple in the evenings. So that day I thought, now we in the courtyard, if you have visited the Chapari temple, there are dioramas. There is dioramas, there is of Ras Leela, Sitaram, Lakshmana, Hanuman, Lord Shiva. There is Narsingadev and Prahlad, Varahadev, Shukdev Goswami, Panchtattva, Krishna Balram, Yashoda Damodar. Like an exhibition, dioramas made of fiber. Very beautiful, but and Narsingadev is grand with Prahlad standing in front of him, sitting on his huge throne. So it was, so whenever a particular festival is being celebrated, those diorama, that particular diorama associated with the festival, it comes up, is brought up and kept in a nice altar just outside the temple hall altar. Next to that, in another beautiful altar made, wahan pe is kept. So that day was Narasimha Chaturdashi. Naturally, that diorama had been brought up, was kept. So I had decided so since the devotees are coming in the evening, so when we keep that diorama, we also put garland around him. One garland for Prahlad, one for Narasimhadev. So that day suddenly I thought, devotees come in the evening and we are going to put a garland around Lord Narasimhadev in the morning. By evening it will not remain as fresh. So when devotees come, it should look fresh, they will feel happy. So that particular day, only on that particular day it has happened, I thought of somehow getting 2 sets of garlands made. So we did that. I requested the Matajis to make extra set. So one garland from the morning and one I'll put up in the evening on his neck. So at around 1 o'clock, 1:15, when the altar closes, I was near the deity room, and this devotee, the Sankirtan Prabhu, who used to get fruit from that old man, he said, do you have an extra Maha garland, because somebody has passed away And so I said, nahi, there's no extra. But suddenly I remember, oh, today I have made two sets of garlands. So what I'll do is, I went to the diorama in the temple hall. I took out that garland from Lord Narasimha, handed it over to me, said, you take this. I have another one for him for evening. Anyway, so this thing happened. Then after a few days, he was traveling. The devotee, he called me. He said, can you go to this person's house because uh, there is a prayer meet, 12th day, and their family wants to have some kirtan and a talk. So I went. I didn't know who I was going to. So then I went there. I saw this old devotee's photo frame. He had passed away. Anyways, oh, I thought I knew him. That's all. After the lecture was over, suddenly his son and daughter in law started talking to me. I'd never met them. They started telling me on their own without being asked. And this was Krishna's way, Lord's way to let me also know, my faith also grew. So they started telling, our father, he was very fond of the temple, and he used to go and carry two fruits, one for the Lord, one for the devotee, Sankirtan Prabhu. They told me this. I didn't know about the fruit part till this point. I told all of you because you're watching the movie straight now. It has already happened. So he said, and even if it was Sunday, even if the market was closed, there was no driver, he used to send his servant to get two fruits, one for Sankirtan Prabhu, one for the deity. And he never failed. Every day it was his rule. And then they said something, they revealed something. It was like my hair was standing on end. And they said, whenever he would go to the temple hall, casually they were telling me, they would go to the temple hall. Before going up to the temple hall on the first floor, in your temple courtyard, there is this uh, deity with a half man, half lion, and a boy standing in front of him. He used to stand there for 5 minutes and just say something. I think he was praying or chanting something. For 5 minutes, he used to stand there. Then only he would go up. That was also one of his rules. That is when I realized. I connected all the dots. So imagine this person was not in his senses. He didn't know what he was doing. We didn't know what he was doing. His chanting was not like we do. Externally, anybody could have judged him. But look at the Lord's mercy, Lord's reciprocation. That the same deity who he used to pray to, that same deity's garland went for him the day he passed away on his body. It had never happened. I had never gotten two sets designed for the Lord for any diorama or before and after. But that day somehow the Lord inspired. We got two sets because the Lord knew today this garland must. That same deities, any garland could have gone. Whenever somebody passes away, devotees ask for Maha garlands, the main temple deities garlands go away. But this was the first time a diorama's garland went out. And that same diorama, the same Narasimha garland whom you used to pray to. What they used to talk to each other, only they know. But this is how the Lord reciprocated. And even more amazing was, he passed away on the day of Narasimha Chaturdashi. And at around 12 noon, which is the appearance time of Lord Narasimha Dev, and his children were telling me, he was sitting on the sofa, suddenly got up, and he fell down on his knees peacefully, and then passed away. Without any pain, without any other complexities. So sometimes when we hear the stories of Lord Narasimha Dev or even Krishna, Radharani from the scriptures, it's very easy to get into that, oh, very nice. We just enjoy, thinking it has happened. They are still happening. They are still happening. Even today, Srila Prabhupada is appearing and guiding people. The Lord is appearing and guiding people. Radharani and Krishna, they are appearing and guiding people. I know so many devotees who keep sharing their realizations. Some of them I know, they are like the kind of reciprocation they are getting from the Lord is Unbelievable. So this deity form of the Lord is directly the Lord. The kind of reciprocation they are getting. Like last year when I came to the United States. So there's one devotee and she had a vision kind of thing she was chanting where Srila Prabhupada was telling her a few things. And she didn't know, I don't know what is happening outside India much. So she suddenly, Prabhupada tells her, you know, tell the devotees in Washington, D.C. that they are doing really nice and I'm very happy with their service. And also, I know they are building a new temple, tell them very, very nice. I didn't know about it. This devotee would never know about this. So last year I communicated, I spoke to the Mataji, their Vrindavan Mataji, and I said, are you all building a new temple? She said, yes. I think it just recently got inaugurated. I said, this is a message from Prabhupada for all of you. He said, I'm very pleased with the service of the devotees at Washington. So these are not just stories. This is a like few years old story which I told you. And in fact, in Kali Yuga, it is more convenient to get some reciprocation from the Lord. We just have to show little sincerity. The darshan of the Lord is more easily available to us in Kali Yuga than any other yuga. Little sincerity, bas, little devotion, little absorption. And then we can experience the same reciprocation as these devotees have experienced in their life. So it's a very, very powerful day. Imagine unknowingly performing devotional service that a person who was nobody became Prahlad. And now he's worshipped forever. He's eternally living. He's still residing in Sutala with his grandson, King Bali. What if we do it knowingly? Srila Prabhupada used to say, Krishna is so kind that a lady named Putna, she came to kill Krishna. And look at Krishna, he gave her the position of his mother. So one can only begin to imagine what he will give to those devotees who are worshipping him, offering him service knowingly, with love. I mean, somebody who's coming to kill him out of envy, she's getting the position of a mother. So what to speak of those who are serving him with love? So these days are extremely potent, spiritually very special. And on these days, the devotional service which is performed, the reward that we get are multiplied by like trillions. So this is the day where we make little investment and we get maximum returns, like in business. So this is the day to do that spiritual business with maximum profitability. So we pray to Lord Narasimha that he continues to shower his grace upon everyone, all the devotees, and may he remove all the impediments from our spiritual life and keep everyone under the umbrella of his divine protection. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. Are there any questions? Otherwise we can end. Prabhuji. Right. Yeah. So the different avatars of the Lord, they already have their planets in the spiritual realm, Vaikuntha. So whenever there is a need according to the particular mission in mind, they appear. So there are, as I said, Narasimha is Krishna only. But when there is a need to protect, he appears as Narasimha. Like in Lord Chaitanya's Leela, whenever he would get angry to protect his devotees, he would assume the form of Narasimha. So this special form, I think the Lord has kept for these tasks, an expression of his love. Plus we also know Hiranyakashipu's benedictions were there from Brahma, so he appeared in a particular form. He could have killed him as Vishnu also, as he has done fighting on behalf of Indra in Samudra Manthan pastime. But then he has to respect Lord Brahma's boons also. So that was also one of the reasons. But essentially, all the incarnations of the Lord, they have their planets in the spiritual realm. Like Lord Buddha, it is explained the first time Lord Buddha appeared was in the celestial realm. And he appeared because the demons, they were thinking, why are these demigods more powerful than us? Then they realized they have Brahma Tejas, they have the power of the Yagyas, they derive power from the Yagyas. So they started engaging in Yagyas, Vedic Yagyas, and that was like everybody went to Lord Vishnu that if they start getting this power, they are already troubling us, they'll become even more powerful, it will be difficult. So then he appears as Lord Buddha in the celestial realm, and in that form he diverts them away from the Vedic sacrifices, which is what he did in this planet also when he came. He took people away from the Vedic process, Vedic sacrifices, because they were killing in the name of religion. Temples had turned into slaughterhouses. So I think every incarnation the Lord has kept, he knows what is going to come up. So he already has his different forms in place that people will relate with and that could be sent. Like in an organization, suppose you are the chairman, then you will have different people for different tasks. Somebody to manage the conflict, somebody is an HR, somebody has CFO, like that. But in the Lord's case, only he can handle things properly. So he himself has expanded into many forms, and as when there is a need, he says, okay, this form will go, this form will go, like that. Now to establish Maryada, he appears as Ram. As to establish his supremacy, he's coming as Krishna. Now if Ram was going around stealing butter, he wouldn't be so attractive as Krishna, like a naughty child. Or Narasimha doing Ras Leela. Gopis would run away from him. I'm the same person. No, we don't care. So he has to have form specifically Ras Leela, okay, Shyam Sundar form. Not even that Dwarka form. To rule, he has a form as a king, Dwarkadhish. So different strokes, different folks, different strokes. And he couldn't have he has managers in the universe, but they also cannot handle everything. So therefore he only expands. He has kept unlimited forms. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishta. Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramah Pumanya. So there are, Brahma Samhita is saying that there are many forms the Lord has in Vaikuntha, like Ram Adi, like Lord Ram and others. Wherever there is a need, they will come. Avatar. That is why they're called avatar. Avatar means one who descends. He's already existing somewhere, and when there is a need, he'll come down. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yeah. Hmm. 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 So Hiranyakashipu, there is a reason why he got Prahlad as his son. In the house of a demon, a devotee is born, because once he had gone to perform tapasya, and then all the devatas, they got very worried. If he becomes more powerful, we are gone. So Narad Muni said, you don't worry, I'll take care of that. So when he was performing tapasya, Narada went in the form of a parrot. And as he was chanting, Narada went close to his ears and he said, Narayan. And then he was disturbed. Again he tried to focus on his mantra, his tapasya. Again Narada came as parrot, Narayan. So imagine you are trying to focus on something and somebody comes into your ears, shouts loudly the name of the one you hate the most. That bhaad mein jaye, I am not going to do this. So he gave up his tapasya, went back, but he had heard the chanting of the Lord's name from a pure devotee like Narad. See, so many people chant the Lord's names, but who is chanting is more important. How much impact it will have what impact it will have will be decided by who is chanting. So many people are chanting. Professional singers are also chanting. Professional singers, if we hear chanting of the holy names of Krishna from those who are not devotees, then our hearts will become infested with more and more material desires instead of becoming purified of the material desires. That's why Sanatana Goswami says, if somebody is not a devotee, we should not hear Hari Katha also from him, because it will act like poison. Because it's not the words, it's the consciousness behind the words that permeates through the atmosphere that changes. The consciousness, what our consciousness is saturated with will decide what kind of transformation we are causing. So in that constant thought process, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan was ringing in his ears. When he came back home, in that consciousness, he united with his wife. And when a boy and a girl, they decide to become parents, everything depends. What kind of soul will be attracted to their family and that mother's womb is decided by the consciousness of the parents. That's why Srila Prabhupada used to say, before you actually conceive a child, you decide to expand your family, before the husband and the wife should chant at least 54 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. For what? Purifying the conscience, so that a pure soul will be attracted. So because he was in that consciousness, a pure soul like Prahlad was attracted into his family. And then you see Hiranyakashipu is born in the family of Kashyap Rishi, a Brahma Rishi. In the house of a Brahma Rishi, a demon is born. Because when they united, it was in a very contaminated state of consciousness. Virochan, I think, is the son of Prahlad. So I don't know much about, but many a times he's also glorified in the scriptures. So I don't know the history. As far as Bali is concerned, he was personally trained up by Prahlad in devotional service, because, the son might get deviated, but the grandson and the grandfather, they have a very close connection. So he grew up under the care of his grandfather. Therefore, Bali became such a powerful devotee. Hare Krishna. आपका क्या question था? Not really, because in every millennium, things keep changing. The Lord's avatar is eternal, and his leelas are also eternal. So in many places, sometimes the Lord appears from a pillar, but it is also explained sometimes Lord Narasimha comes flying into the palace of Hiranyakashipu. So the leela is eternal. So in a previous millennium, Narasimha Chaturdashi was celebrated. We are thinking from this millennium point of view, but it is always being celebrated. So it happened during that some previous millennium, because Bhagavad or the Puranas do not just take into consideration this millennium, but many kalpas. So Narasimha Chaturdashi, Ram Navami, Janmashtami, that's why it is said, once in a day of Brahma, Krishna appears. That means he keeps appearing. In the previous day also he has appeared. Brahma is now 53 years old. So he is appearing in every day of Brahma. So it has taken place. And the 4 yuga cycles keep repeating. So, and at the end of every yuga cycle, Vyasadeva appears. So it's not that this is the only Vyasadeva. 24th millennium Vyasadeva was Valmiki. Next Vyasadeva will be Ashwatthama. So Leelas keep repeating. Some details may vary here and there. All right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Radha Nil Madhav ki jai. Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Shri Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Dev Prahlad ji ki jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Yeah. You want me to do from here only? Okay. I can do it whichever way. Both is ऐसे ही कर लेते हैं, ठीक है. और I think I'll sit over there. DTs के लिए थोड़ा facing the DTs is better. ये करताल कौन बजाएगा? बस, थैंक यू. ये नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful session on Narasimha Katha. I think we had very few sessions on Narasimha Katha. The last I remember was Gaurang Darshan Prabhu last year. He gave a Katha on Narasimha. So, and just like how you were explaining the pastime of the devotee at Chowpatty temple receiving the garland of Narasimha Dev himself, and that you mentioned that day you made 2 garlands. So a similar incident happened today. So before the start of the class, we were looking for garland for you, and then we unfortunately we didn't have an extra garland, and then I happened to see 2 garlands on Prabhupada, which is a very rare thing. So even on big festivals day, we see only 1 garland on Prabhupada, but today it happened that there were 2 garlands on Prabhupada. Made by our Rantidev Prabhu, or I don't know, some Matajis made. So I think you mentioned one of your services was you were overseeing the department of Garland Seva. I think Prabhupada was so pleased that he arranged a garland for you today. Yeah, amazing. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for taking your time to visit Seattle and enlightening us on the series of Bhakta Charitra Katha. Okay, that is a topic Prabhuji has been giving sessions on. Yesterday we had 1 session in Bothal, today in the temple, and tomorrow morning also we have a class in the temple at 10:30, and then there are some home programs. So a small introduction about Prabhuji. So Nithyanand Charan Prabhu, a well-renowned spiritual counselor and a practicing monk at ISKCON Chowpatty, Mumbai for the last 16 years. He is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanaswami Maharaj. Prabhuji is an author of 5 books, including a series of national bestseller, A Monk's Almanac, Icons of Grace, Ask the Monk. Bound by love and epic tales of wisdom, he wishes to assist the current urban scenario by aiding people in leading a life of purpose, fulfillment and satisfaction in their professional as well as personal lives. He caters to a wide range of audience from all age groups and especially specializes in guiding today's youth, including children and teenagers, to reconnect with their roots and lead a simple and happy life. He travels extensively, giving insightful sessions on the ancient wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana and Mahabharata, in a simple yet profound way that resonates with all age groups. His discourses are held in every major city of India, almost 50 countries across the globe. Coming from an army background, his childhood dream was to become an army officer, but Krishna had other plans for him and orchestrated his life beautifully. Life led him to fail the NDA interview despite being one of the best in the group, to a mechanical engineer instead, and eventually becoming a monk while he was just 24. Serving in various capacities in deity worship, organizing festivals, events and pilgrimages, and as Kirtan leader, and it's not mentioned here, but I'll also add Garland Seva, Garland department. He has built through his outreach a vibrant spiritual community in Mumbai and in different parts of India. And there is a beautiful message about Prabhu from Prabhuji. Spiritual life is not a life of rejection, it is a life of connection. We do not have to give up anything, we simply have to add this valuable dimension to our life. So as Prabhuji mentions, we do not have to give up anything, we just have to add Krishna to that. So a testimony to that is Prabhuji. So we have a devotee family, Nitin Prabhu, Shweta Mataji, we have a devotee family who got connected to Krishna consciousness simply by hearing to Prabhuji's katha on Instagram. So as Prabhuji writes, we do not have to give up anything. Spiritual life is not a life of rejection, but it's a life of connection. So Prabhuji is connecting everyone to Krishna through the via medium of social media. So thank you again, Prabhuji, for visiting us in Seattle. A big Haribol to Nithyanand Charan Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Prabhuji has written a new book. It's coming up, about to be released. It's a book on Lord Shiva. Okay, thank you. So now we have Harilas Maharaj here.
Hare Krishna. So after this, now we continue with our